Pop the top, it's time for another video to drop, and today I'm bringing you guys episode 22 of the WWE 2014 series, and that is right, it is finally time for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, the second pay-per-view in the series, last day of February. We're so close to WrestleMania 30, but we gotta make this pit stop, so let's go ahead and get right on into things. We kick things off here. After the pay-per-view intro happens, we're right backstage right away. You see on the monitor in the background, the TV, the intro for Elimination Chamber playing. We zoom back a little bit and you see Triple H in a suit, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Randy Orton, both titles over his shoulders, and The Miz, the man that's going to be competing tonight in the main event to see who goes on to WrestleMania to face whoever the WWE World Heavyweight Champion is. Triple H basically goes, now listen here, boys. Both of you are the franchise of this company. Both of you are A-plus players, and both of you should go on to main event WrestleMania. That's why tonight, at Elimination Chamber, the deck is stacked, and it's stacked for us. The chessboard is laid out, and we're about to get a checkmate. But now, Orton, you're in a chamber match. You need to be careful. But don't worry, because I got your back. Entering at number 6, Randy Orton. And as soon as that announcement's made, the crowd begins to just boo their heads off. Randy Orton gets the 6th spot in the chamber. He does not have to come out until everyone mainly might be dead. They might be done for. And Orton can just come in and scoop up the rest of the remains and win the match. Really? He's going to be number 6? That's not fair. But Triple H hears the boos and he goes, oh, that's right, people don't like that idea, but guess what, I choose their fate, so it's still happening. And right as he says that, that's when finally we cut things off and we begin to kick things off, for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, and they got a 79B. In our first match of the evening, we have a WWE Tag Team Championship match. Rhodes Dynasty, our Tag Team Champions, defending against The Shield. And about that, had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. The Shield defeat Rhodes Dynasty in 14 minutes and 20 seconds when Seth Rollins defeated Goldust by pinfall with a God's last gift. That's right, The Shield win the World Tag Team Championships. That is absolutely correct. The Shield are now your Tag Team Champions. What a match this was. What an excellent match this was. Cody and Seth mainly were in the ring the majority of the time, tearing it up, but nevertheless, 81B, good stuff. After the match, the Shield basically hightail it with all 3 titles, walking up the stairs for the fans, and they all 3 hold up their gold and laugh, and basically, Dean Ambrose yells out, "The injustice isn't solved yet. We'll see you at Mania. Believe in the Shield." And during that, Cody Rhodes and Goldust are dead in the ring, and I got a 79B, good stuff. After the fact, we have a promo video playing for the Leo Kruger-Kofi Kingston match. We see stuff where Leo Kruger basically talks about how he's going to be the father now of Kofi Kingston's child after the night when he murders Kofi Kingston. Crazy stuff happened in this feud. I definitely recommend you go back and watch the past episodes to see exactly what happened with the feud. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and get on into the match. 72B- for the rating. Good stuff. Following that, in a bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, Leo Kruger defeated Kofi Kingston in 8 minutes and 20 seconds by pinfall with a Kruger end to get a 66C+. As much as Kofi Kingston tried, really tried, he just didn't have enough to get it done. He goes for Trouble in Paradise out of nowhere, his last dying basically strength, his last chance to turn things around. He goes for the Trouble in Paradise. Kruger ducks under, pulls him back in, hits a back suplex, lifts Kofi's limp body up in the air, hits him with the Krugers in afterwards, and that gives us the win. That gives Leo Kruger the win for a 66C+ rated match. Good stuff. Following that, we cut backstage basically, and you see from Natalya down to Darren Young, all these people are just crowded around someone, and Natalya's yelling out, "Help, help, help, we need help back here, we need help back here." And then Triple H comes on camera walking up saying, whoa, what's going on? And he goes into the middle of the circle, the camera pans down. CM Punk is laid out on the concrete floor. No one knows what happened to CM Punk. He is just laid out. Triple H is basically just puts his hand over his head and said, we didn't need this tonight. We didn't need this tonight. We didn't need this tonight. Damn it, give me some help back here. And he basically gets help, and Punk is assisted to the trainer's room. And that got an 84B+. Who knows the status of CM Punk for the Elimination Chamber match tonight? Who knows? But we'll try to keep you updated throughout the night. They got an 84B+. Following this, we have our Intercontinental title match. In a decent match, Biggie Langston defeated Wade Barrett in 9 minutes and 52 seconds by pinfall with a 5 count. Biggie Langston makes defense number 2 of his Intercontinental title for a 64 C-rated match, just something for the Intercontinental title feud. Wade Barrett put up a good effort, but nonetheless, Biggie Langston, he's still getting it done, and he's still that 5 count champion.
You are the self that keeps me caged. You are the wrath that feeds my rage. The moment of doubt in all my faith, the reason to stay. Break me like you do. All of the hell you've put me through. The more that I fight, the more I lose. I'll always surrender forever.
Following that Women's Classic Tournament advert, we then go straight into the Women's Championship promo video featuring AJ Lee and Paige, and that got a 59C, which means the Women's Championship match is up next. And in a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat, Paige defeated AJ Lee in 11 minutes and 46 seconds by pinfall with a Rampage. However, a little bit of controversy on this finish. Paige drops her with the Rampage, goes for the pin, 1, 2, 3, but what the ref did not see was AJ Lee's wrist and hand were under the bottom rope from her angle. The ref did not pick up the angle. The ref did not make the right call. However, Paige still wins the WWE Women's title, and that got a 53 C-. After the match, once AJ Lee finally comes to, she loses her mind at this. Basically slaps the ref, jumps on the ref, tries to beat the shit out of the ref, until finally the security comes down. Paige raises the women's title up, and that's when AJ breaks free of security. I wouldn't really say breaks free, but like slips free, and basically double leg takedowns Paige and beats her down until security can finally break them apart again, and that got a 64C. AJ Lee is livid about losing the women's championship here tonight. After that, in a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Batista defeated Alberto Del Rio in 12 minutes and 25 seconds by pinfall with a spinebuster. Good stuff out of Batista and Del Rio. I mean, Batista had an in-ring performance of 54, and Del Rio had 87. I really ain't got plans for Del Rio, but he's a good talent, so what are you gonna do? I don't really know. I got an 80B though, nevertheless. Following this, we see a trainer's room door backstage. Renee Young, our interviewer, standing by, and Triple H opens the door and walks out and shuts the door. And finally, Renee goes, "Excuse me, Mr. Triple H, Mr. Hunter, Mr. Paul, Mr. Levesque, can I get a word?" And Triple H goes, "If you're asking about CM Punk's condition, I do not think he should compete tonight. However, because it's best for business, he will, in fact, be competing against doctor's orders and will be in the Elimination Chamber match. But I'm telling you, he should just stay in this room if he knows what's good for him." And right as he says that line, Renee Young's eyebrows go up. She's a little confused, as much as the audience is, and Triple H just walks off screen. And then finally, Renee Young goes, "Back to you guys at ringside." And I got an 80B. Following this, Alexander Rusev and Lana come down to the ring. Lana, with the microphone, goes, "And now, tonight, we're going to have a little challenge. A little open challenge. Machika. So who will face Alexander Rusev? Who will face Alexander Rusev? Come on down and get crushed." And that's when, well, it's time to move the fuck over hits, and Big Show comes down to the ring. The man that is going to move the new stars over, Big Show, is in the ring, grabs the microphone, and says, "Rusev, you think you can crush me? The world's largest athlete? Ha. Funny. No, you can't. Let's have a match." And he throws the microphone down. That got a 77B. We go into the match. And about that had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Alexander Rusev defeated Big Show in 5 minutes and 39 seconds by submission. They have great chemistry, so that was good. Rusev basically just annihilates Big Show here. Leg kicks for days. Chops for days. Forearms for days. Finally, a super kick for days that drops Big Show, allowing Rusev to get the accolade on. Rusev taps out Big Show. 58 C-. Good stuff. Following that, we get a promo from John Cena where John Cena is talking about basically what happened with CM Punk. He's asked about that. He goes along the lines of saying it's not good what happened with CM Punk, but tonight it's about me winning that world title and going on to WrestleMania 30 as the champion. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Following that, we have a little promo video for the Elimination Chamber match. That's right, the Elimination Chamber match is up next. It is our co-main event of the evening. And after the video, we then go on to the Elimination Chamber match. And about that, it's superb wrestling and great heat. Randy Orton defeated Christian, CM Punk, John Cena, Antonio Cesaro, and Sheamus in a chamber match. Let me go ahead and, to make the events number 2 of his world title, let me go ahead and delete all this. So, basically what happens is, in this match, we kick things off. CM Punk enters at number 1. He is the man that comes down, or, well, he comes out second to last if he's number 1. And he's basically just limping. He is barely can even move. And that's when Sheamus' music finally hits last. So Sheamus is number 2. These 2 men are going to start off, Sheamus and Punk, while these 4 men, Cena, Orton, Christian, Cesaro, are locked in the pods. Sheamus really just charges CM Punk right away. Boom, bro kick. Punk's down. He's out. Sheamus picks up the wounded Punk, hits the, what did he call it? The high cross? The razor's edge? Yeah, he hits the razor's edge over the top rope, onto the steel. Then he gets on the outside, picks up Punk, throws him back into the ring, and then goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. The crowd's booing. They hate this. CM Punk just got eliminated within like 2 minutes. And it's downright despicable because the attack that he suffered before the match, probably caused him this. And Sheamus doesn't stop there, no. He gets up, he grabs Punk, he throws him on the outside of the ring, whips him right into John Cena's pod. Not into his pod, but against the glass wall, glass door, I suppose, glass pod, and bounces Punk right off the pod. Punk's still down. We have the medics come down. They wheel Punk out on a stretcher. And that's right when Sheamus turns around. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Christian comes out. We then have Christian and Sheamus battling for a while. No one gets eliminated during that state. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once the next entrant comes out, it's John Cena. We now have 3 men battling it out. No one gets eliminated again during this state until finally the 5th man to come in the match, Antonio Cesaro, comes out. And now we have 4 men actively in the ring. Christian gets Cesaro down after a little bit of chain wrestling. He gets him down with the inverted DDT. And then Christian goes up to the top rope, goes for the frog splash. Cesaro quickly gets back up to his feet, catches him with a pop-up uppercut, basically. Pins Christian. 1, 2, 3. Christian, sir, you've been eliminated. Following that, we have Randy Orton then coming out. Randy Orton, the last entrant to make his way into the pod. And this happens right when he gets into the ring. The lights go out. What is Bray Wyatt doing in the Elimination Chamber? Why is he here? He immediately hits John Cena with the Sister Abigail. And Cesaro sees the opportunity. He pins Cena. 1, 2, 3. Eliminated. We're down to 3. Cesaro, Orton, and Sheamus. The crowd is fully behind Cesaro regardless. They want to see this underdog come out and win this match in general. Sheamus goes after Orton. Bad call because that does end up costing him. An RKO gets hit on Sheamus. Randy Orton pins Sheamus. 1, 2, 3. We're down to 2. Randy Orton and Antonio Cesaro. Randy Orton and Antonio Cesaro go back and forth throughout this entire match. Back and forth. Now, of course, it wasn't really fair what's happened to Cena and Punk in this match, but these 2 men are very good, and very good to be in the last 2 spot. However, as Cesaro pops up Orton out of nowhere after Orton charges for the RKO, he pops him in the air. We think the uppercut's about to come. Boom, Orton counters with an RKO out of nowhere. 1, 2, kick out. Cesaro kicks out, gets up to his feet somehow. Orton says it's enough, goes for another RKO. Cesaro pushes him off. He hits the ropes, comes back, pop-up uppercut. 1, 2, kick out. No, he doesn't win the title. Orton tries to get back up to his feet now. Cesaro goes for the neutralizer. Counter by Orton, backdrop. Cesaro rises to his feet, RKO out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton has retained his WWE World Heavyweight Championship in 34 minutes and 25 seconds. To make defense number 2 of his WWE World Heavyweight title, and that match got an 82B. Following that, we have Randy Orton celebrating. The crowd's booing. Triple H comes down. He shakes Orton's hand. Cesaro's laid out cold, basically, in the middle of the ring. The chamber rises up in the air. Orton's celebrating. Triple H shakes his hand. The crowd's booing, of course. That got a 79B. Following this, we have Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman coming down to the ring now. Brock Lesnar, of course, has that contract for anyone he wants to face. And Paul Heyman gets right down to business and says, ladies and gentlemen, my client Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30 will be facing The Undertaker. Right as he says that, lights out, the gong hits on the Titantron. I accept. And that literally is what happens for this segment. Brock Lesnar just smiles and says, I'm not afraid. I've beaten your ass before. I'll beat it again. And that got an 89A. Great stuff. We then have a hype video for our main event, the triple threat match where the winner goes on to the main event of WrestleMania. And this got a 77B. We then go on to the main event. And about that, at great wrestling and good heat, The Miz defeated AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan in 22 minutes and 30 seconds when The Miz defeated AJ Styles by using underhanded tactics via a roll-up, holding the tights, and Triple H taking over as the official following a ref bump, fast counting AJ Styles out. The Miz has pinned AJ Styles. The Miz is going on to WrestleMania. What on earth has happened here? What on earth has happened? And as The Miz is celebrating, Daniel Bryan's furious on the outside because Daniel Bryan had gotten taken out by Triple H as Triple H was running down to the ring to replace the referee. Triple H grabbed Bryan, pedigree on Bryan, slides into the ring, fast counts AJ out of the match. The Miz has won. The Miz is celebrating with Triple H. His theme music is hitting. It's playing. The crowd is just booing and booing. Bryan does not make it to the main event of Mania 30 when all of a sudden,
here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
what on earth is Shane McMahon doing back in the WWE? Shane McMahon's music hits. The crowd goes berserk. Shane McMahon walks out on stage with a microphone in hand and goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Hunter, this isn't going to work. See, I own more of this company than you do, and I don't think that works. See, this whole thing with you've been saying the past month, yeah, I've been watching, about fate, choosing people's fate. Well, I just choose your fate. And this match has been thrown out. The underhanded tactics of The Miz, yeah, that's not going to cut it. He's not going to the main event of WrestleMania 30, and I'm making an executive decision right now. In the main event of WrestleMania 30, we will see Randy Orton, your golden boy, versus AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, and the leader of the Yes Movement, Daniel Bryan. And that got an 87 B+ rating to end Elimination Chamber. Ending the show with an 82B. That seems to be our average recently. But nevertheless, if you guys enjoyed Elimination Chamber, leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new, because you already know we do daily content with the series. And nevertheless, as always, take it easy, guys.